Can I ask for a recess of just a
It's
few
all right,
minutes?
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Why did President Duterte ask for a quick break? Was he nervous about Risa Hontiveros, like the Kakampinks claim? That's fake news again, and I'll tell you the reason why.
First of all, if it is true that the drug war of former PRRD is allegedly for their tactics to eliminate their business opponents and drugs, somehow it really lessened the crime, that I'm so thankful for it. As former PRRD did not anymore use the recess he asked for, so it will not be taught at all that he just want to urinate or want to jingle, because it is impossible for anyone to give advantages to his opponent, as what former PRRD is acting pretentiously.
Do you assume responsibility for the death of Kian De Los Santos, Mr.
No.
Chair? No. How about si Carl
Alam mo, ma'am,
Nunez?
before you rumble on those many things.
No, I'm not rambling, Mr. Chair. Very specific yung mga tanong ko.
Specific ang law. Guilt is personal.
Former PRRD reasoning is just a subterfuge expedience to escape from being outwitted. When he said he will take full responsibility of his war on drugs, as he said also he will take all the responsibilities concerning the policeman, that already means all the accusers in war on drugs is his responsibilities. Meaning all the actions of the policeman are his responsibilities, so if the policeman do any actions contrary to his commands, then it is his responsibilities. So he is wrong of saying he don't accept his responsibilities of all who were killed. He is an attorney, so he knows pretty well that he is not personally guilty of whatever actions of the policeman which are against his commands, or the actions that unintentionally gone wrong. As he is only guilty concerning his commands or what he had spoken, not to mean he has an offense, but as to mean he has to face his responsibilities. As since his commands is to eliminate all involving the illegal drugs, and as the sovereignty is in him, so he has all right to execute what he may deem so, whether it will contradict the Constitution, knowing the fact the Constitution were established with contradictions to the sovereignty of the President, so as any time since the sovereignty is with the President, that just means in important moments or emergency moments he could temporarily change the Constitution. Sovereignty is higher than Constitution. So if former PRRD already warned all who are involved in illegal drugs to stay away from it since it is a #1 world enemy, so if they ignored the words of former PRRD, so if they are indeed determined to oppose the law which is about their outrageous and dangerous acts, so meaning the one was a sovereignty can impose a special law concerning it, as similar to death penalty or death penalty. Now as about personal guilt, as former PRRD spoken as so to absolve himself from the outcome of his commands, the term is irrelevant to his commands, or not expedient to be excused from his responsibilities or accountability to his commands. Since all occurred from his commands or words, so the guilt of the policeman is his guilt also, meaning all of them, he, the mayors and the policeman, as a personal guilt for all the unusual occurrences. Do not former PRRD sometimes talk about duty responsibility, so why ignoring this in the matter that he is involved? Guilt is not transferable, but all who are in same works or duty has their own personal guilt unto any unusual occurrence.
Now what is guilt is personal. This phrase reflects a legal principle which means only the person who committed the crime can be held accountable for it. Responsibility cannot be transferred to others. And of course, Risa doesn't know this since she hasn't studied law like Duterte has.
Tanong ka muna ng abogado. Can I ask for a recess of... Can the chair talk to the senator?
So now you know. The reason Duterte requested a recess was to save her from further humiliation because of her ignorance.
This blogger who was acting as an apologist of former PRRD isn't wrong. As I've said, guilt is not indeed transferable, but all who are in same duty, as their personal guilt in such unusual occurrences, as even former PRRD himself often said about duty responsibility. And of saying responsibility is not transferable, that is not absolutely true. First of all, guilt is not about responsibility and work, for if the main leader in the same work is in sick or is was sacked because of irregularities, then the responsibility of the works will be transferred to the one that will supersede. As I've said, it must not be jumped into conclusion that it is because of Senator Risa Hontiveros' ignorance about personal guilt. She has come out in Bachelor of Arts degree in Social Sciences in 1987, He is a journalist, not just that, so if even a simple person knows about personal guilt, why not to Senator Risa Hontiveros? She is just trying to be humble. As I've said, former PRRD might just want to urinate or to jingle, or want to think for a word that he will going to reason out, since he is already faltering or humming what to say, as former PRRD is twisting the fact or telling the opposite about it, that it is Senator Risa Hontiveros who need to know what to be reasoning out. So if former PRRD did not jingle, that just indeed means he is trying to pause or to change the issue that it takes hard for him to answer.
I was talking about the policy. I take full responsibility. Yung sinabi ko na war on drugs.
About
At
specific
saka,
crimes.
kung sabihin ko I will take full responsibility, magdating tayo sa korte, hindi naman tatanggapin yan.
See, he said he is talking about policy, as what he said he will take full responsibility is about war on drug, as he said. So that is already included in his policy. If say no take full responsibility, that only absolutely being meant to things or actions related to the commands or obligations of the leader, so as it is about legal operation, not about the irregular operations. Just like if the president taken a seat, any bad doings of the constituents are the president's responsibility or accountability, but definitely it is his obligations to be tackled. Just like when Christ and the Messiah were sent, to takes full responsibility of the earth, but not to mean he is guilty as of having fault with the wrongdoings of the disbelievers, but as of being guilty through grieves with the wickedness of the peoples to be solved. God also grieves, but it doesn't mean he is guilty as he committed wrong. Meaning not in all aspects of being guilty, as because there are say wrong being committed. If anyone becomes sad, he also feels guilt, so is about mistaken identity. It is indeed under the full responsibility of the one who are commanding or leader, but not to mean he is guilty. It is of the fact in such operations there will be an unexpected mistake to occur, for the enemy or enemies always doing it in strategical ways so to lead their opponents or authority to commit mistakes, or so there will be a sacrifice or to be sacrificed, for the good of the country or the whole. One former PRRD said that what he said he will take full responsibility will not be accepted in court. That is just his mere opinion as his strategy to absolve himself, and it's not true that it will not be accepted in court, but the fact those that he said are not good to him, like the about he will takes full responsibility about war on drug, so how could he says he is not guilty about those accusations to him? So it just allowed him to talk and talk, for such words that he will say will be used against him. I am not judging former PRRD, for as I've said, he has a right about war on drug, even to impose of his own exclusive death penalty to those who persist to violate, as the sovereignty is in him the time.
I mean, who wouldn't be stressed talking to a senator who can't keep up, like a clueless fifth grader?
This former PRRD apologist is talking unintellectually, who indeed will not be stressed, as if there's anyone who don't want to follow the rules and regulations in the hearing, and keep on talking arrogantly. This former PRRD apologist is the one who was clueless.
Meanwhile, Davao City remains the second safest and the second cleanest city in whole Southeast Asia.
Davao is the safest and cleanest. Consider also the North Korea. What is the similarity between these two? Like about don't talk or I will. Think about why those most wanted take it as their safest place. Think about those allegedly drug lords that staying there about the continuing illegal drugs there. Use drugs here in Davao, but don't be stupid or be foolish or I will. Exterminating all who are involved in drugs in the Philippines, so that those drug lords will go away from Philippines, but harboring those who are close to them, as what Police Colonel Eduardo Acerte and Kong General Equipa disclosed.
Hindi ka nagdala ng syudad eh. You never
Totoo
had
po,
the
Mr.
chance
Chair.
to
Totoo po, Mr. Chair.
solve the problem of the community.
But don't judge or underestimate Senator Risa Hontiveros. If she could solve the biggest crimes in Philippines, like the about Apollo Quiboloy, etc., so how much more with the municipal?
So mas okay
Walang
pong
trabaho.
patayin sila kesa
Wala
ipreso
akong
sila.
pakialam dyan sa kriminal, ma'am.
Yes, Mr.
Yun ang
Chair.
gusto nilang mangyari. Doon sila sa impyerno.
This is to be asked also to Senator Risa Hontiveros. What is okay? Is it okay that those drug addicts be killed, or is it okay that multiple innocent people living peacefully abiding the laws be killed? Is because almost all drug addicts or users killed them as because the drug addicts and their users, whenever they were arrested or being jailed, is just simple for them to be released. So it has been known that even the poorest or unkempt drugs addict are reigning or acts as they are powerful just because they are being protected. Former PRRD is right as they already were before election, so as it is former PRRD platform or promised and was voted for it, so as must be executed, as that is what they want, so there they will be delivered, and those who are living peacefully are abiding the law.
You know, ma'am, can I ask for a recess of just a
It's
few
all right,
minutes?
Mr. Chair.
Yes. Hearing suspended.
Can the chair talk to the senator?
So now you know. The reason Duterte requested a recess was to save her from further humiliation because of her ignorance. The Kakampinks tried to trick everyone into believing Duterte was scared of Risa. Little did they know, they were the ones being fooled by the spliced videos Risa posted on her TikTok to
So now let me ask you about Carl Anthony Nunez, 20 years old. Walang nahanap na droga o baril sa katawan niya. Sabi nga ng investigador, mistaken identity. Do you take responsibility for his death?
You know, ma'am, can I ask for a recess of just a
It's
few
all right,
minutes?
Mr. Chair.
Yes. Hearing suspended.
Can the chair talk to the senator?
This apologist of former PRRD is liar, as he is the one who was talking falsely, as he is the one who cut and spliced or edited the video with malice. Here I connected the continuation of the issue he is lying for, that I taken from other bleg. The truth is former PRRD asked for a recess because it has difficulties in him to answer Senator Risa Hontiveros' questions, and pretentiously act that it is as he wants Senator Risa Hontiveros to ask the other as be prepared for what she will going to answer.
Doon sila sa impyerno at doon tayo magkita.
Well, Mr. Chair, wala namang jurisdiction ng Senado sa impyerno. Dito lang sa bansa natin pwede tayong mag-investigate.
Ba't doon tayo pupunta?
Well, wala po akong ambisyon pumuntang impyerno pa. Pero Mr. Chair, ang
hirain
punto
kita,
lang
ma'am.
ito, ang
It is impropriety and abnormality for anyone like the former president and already old, and this was in a respected institution hearing, and this was be aired all over the earth to utter such stupid words. He will pull Senator Risa Hontiveros with him to hell. It could not even be a joke, and it is ambiguous, and contempt of court.